And we're going to make a nice little exclamation point here to finish off this nice little sign here. So we'll just make a nice little straight line here. Make a little dot over here to make that exclamation point nice and bold. And there you go. So happy painting and God bless. Alright, you asked for it. This is Bob Ross. What I was trying to get with that intro is that Bob Ross was one of the greatest painters of all time. Why? Because he's terrific with wet on wet. In fact, many think he's the father of wet on wet. They also believe that he's the father of ASMR, though I highly doubt that. ASMR was probably invented well before his existence, though you'll probably see why they think that. His show, The Joy of Painting, lasted for 11 years, but he ran 31 series. 31 series in 11 years. That's 3 per year. He did it in Muncie, Indiana from 1983 until 1994. The reason why was because a year later he died of leukemia. That was a sad day. And I grew up admiring Bob Ross, and hell, I wanted to be a painter too, just like Bob Ross. Instead, I ended up being a critic, just like the Nostalgia Critic. It's amazing what karma can do. But in any event, I'm going to show you how Bob Ross did it, and maybe you too can enjoy the joy of painting. Here's the intro. Now the intro's changed over the course of the series. At first it was pretty much one of those, what do you call it? Well, in any case, slow motion, stop motion type deal of his paintings. Then it turned into Bob Ross actually animatedly, well, you know what I mean, painting the painting rather quickly. But yeah, that's the intro there. And this is Bob Ross. And yes, you might be thinking, how could a hippie be a fucking painter? Because he did, and you're gonna appreciate it. So each show starts with him introducing himself and then showing the colors that he uses for each of the paintings that he did. And they usually run in the order that he runs in the palette. So it goes from here all the way around to the end right there where his nice little hand is. He usually also pre-positions the canvas or pre-paints it with some sort of set of paint. In this case, it's liquid white. And what does the liquid white do? It allows you to blend colors. And it creates less hassle for the brush. So as you can see, he's crisscrossing to paint the sky. And one thing you'll also notice is that, and he's going to mention this too, and he does this every show that he does. But as you get closer to the center, as it gets close to the center, it'll get lighter. So the further away it is, it gets darker. But then it gets lighter as you get towards the center. As you can probably hear, you can hear why people think he's the father of ASMR, because of that soft, smooth voice. Though once again, I highly doubt that. I have fucking research. Evidence that proves that ASMR was invented well before Bob Ross existed. I don't know why people think he's the father of ASMR. They're crazy. Or probably high. Or both. So as you can see, he has created the sky. I'm sure there's a bunch of you that are already bored to death, even though we're 2 minutes into this flipping video. So I'll go ahead and skip ahead so that you can be freaking entertained. So as you can see, he's already painted the clouds, and he painted a nice water at the bottom. And he's going to show you how to make a mountain. Good old mighty mountain. One of the traits that he usually paints. He also paints happy trees, happy bushes. Not those bushes. I'm talking like plant bushes. And not plants like you. You know what I mean. And as you can see, he's using a knife. It's amazing how he's able to use a knife to make the base of a mountain. He's eventually going to remove any extra paint. And he's also going to use the brush to blend, which will essentially create a misty effect at the bottom of the mountain. And the final product is this. And as you can see, he's also using the knife with white paint to make the snow. And he's using it at an angle. And it's very important that you do it at the angle of the mountain. So if it's sloping down like this, you want to slope it down that way too. That way it gives that great effect. Now, for the other side, he's going to mix white with blue paint. And that'll create the shadowy side of the mountain, making it very, very realistic. Almost to the point that you would think that it would look like the Paramount Mountain. You know the mountain on the Paramount logo? Hell, it even looks like it. Next, we're going to show Bob Ross painting those happy little trees. But first, he's creating a reflection. Look how realistic that painting is. You would not believe that this was painted by an actual painter. But it is. And this is how you make a tree. Use the fan brush vertically, like that. And then you go like that. And that's how you make that tree over there. Isn't it great? I'm sure a lot of you are not thrilled that you're being forced to watch this, so f*** you. This is awesome. But if you want, we can move along on the video. Now Bob Ross is going to use this yellowish green to make the leaves of the trees. As well as happy little bushes. Yeah, happy little bushes! Look at how freaking lifelike that painting is. That's so unbelievable. Let's put some land under here. Shoot, we need something for all these little bushes and trees to stand on. Don't want them to fall. Let's get brave. Now he's gonna make a big old tree. One of those big old fancy trees. But as you can see, it's amazing how lifelike it is. And with practice, just like anything else, you'll get better at it. All it takes is practice, practice, and more practice. Just like with me, with reviewing. It takes practice and practice and practice, and eventually you go from a dull, boring person at the beginning to a more energetic person because, well, energy creates everything. But with practice comes perfection. But before perfection, you must practice. Let's build an indication of just a tree trunk in here. Like so. So you can see he's making the bark. But let's skip ahead so you can see the final product. Just let this bear some twigs here and there. Look at that painting. Holy crap. This is an amazing painting. But it doesn't come easily. You need to practice. That's the key. You gotta practice. And these Bob Ross videos do a tremendous job of doing just that. That's how he always ends his videos, by the way. Happy painting, God bless. And there's another look at the final product. Sometimes he signs the painting. In this instance, he didn't. And then we get the closing credits, which signifies the end of the show. So, I know this is a short review, but I don't feel like wasting all that time showing the whole video when I can just show you a good chunk just to show how great Bob Ross was as a wet-on-wet painter. And these videos are terrific because they teach you how to do wet-on-wet painting. And Bob Ross is a terrific teacher. And Bob Ross, the channel, gets a lot of credit for not just this video, but for all the videos that he shows of Bob Ross painting all these paintings and going step by step through. In fact, he's also got instructional videos, and if you want, you can also go to Bob Ross's website, which I believe is bobross.com. I'm not so sure, so best bet would be to Google him. I'm sure you'll get the website there. And if you want to paint like Bob Ross, you can get instructional videos, you can get instructional books, you can get all the painting sets and equipment that you need, all that stuff. And there's also videos on YouTube that show all the Bob Ross videos and show you how to experience the joy of painting. So, What do I think of Bob Ross? I think not much has changed in the 20 years since he died. He's still an inspiration to all of us. And if you're looking for ASMR, apparently, he's good at that too with that soft, soothing voice. But you're mainly here to see him paint, and that's what he's terrific at. And no one's going to teach you wet-on-wet painting better than Bob Ross. So if you get a chance, I highly recommend you go on YouTube and watch Bob Ross. There's plenty of videos of him on YouTube, so go check him out. I'm the CommanderZander saying, happy painting and God bless.